All right. Howdy, everyone. We are here for the last live stream of my advanced Gutenberg development course. I think I've pretty much got the whole thing recorded or ready to record, and this is the last section. And then there was one part that I could just not for the life of me, even with help, figure out. So we'll have to come back to that whenever it gets easier or better. But let me just share some tweets out that we're going live. Test that we are in fact live, looks like it. Hope the audio sounds okay. If you are popping by, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming from, what you're working on, and let's get cracking. All right, so we are at the last section of the course. Well, it's not the last section of the course, but prepping the second to last section of the course, the last part I need to prep, which is on filters. So I should probably look at the documentation again. So handbook, Gutenberg. Yeah, filters reference. Cool, we got several types of filters. I'm concerned particularly with block filters. So there are a number of them. Block style variations, we're gonna look at that in a separate one, which is why we're doing these things first. Unregister block style, that's one. Oh, here we go. Okay, register block type. So you could hook into register block type and basically get access to any of the settings and override them, which is really cool. So let's see, register block type. One of these is, yeah, this one's hooking into register block type. All right, so I want to rename this to go along with what it's doing, but I'll keep that in. I'll probably change this, but let's see, which one was that? Code attributes. That wasn't even load up here. Okay, so let's just, oh, because it got renamed. Let's see. Register, where'd she go? Register block type. Okay, so this is hooking into it. What was I just in then? All right, anyways, that's register block type. A few of these are using them. Let me just see here. Add code. It has been a while since I coded these. These are all in a previous live stream, but I have to go back and make sense all of this. Okay, because I want to make sure that we're actually using all these. Add code attributes. Okay, so add code attributes will get the settings for a block and the name of it. And if we're not running the core code one, it looks like we're jumping out. Okay, so we're going to add support for setting a code block to be full alignment. So let's just see if we could get this up and running. Add code controls. This one. Last one in the line must have meant, hopefully knew what I was doing at this point. Let's check this out. Code. First we type it, then we use it. Cool, look at that. It's got those align support. So if I remove that, my assumption is that code by default. Come on, WordPress, you know we want the full code alignment by default. Okay, now notice that it does break things. So that's a whole separate discussion that I gotta work out here. So I'm just taking note. But yeah. Align support is good. Now, why did it fail? Let's go back and let's just repeat this process. So I got to delete this, add a new code block, and okay, so now I've got it. And let's switch over to this mode, code editor. So yeah, it's going to show, no, it's showing everything there. Okay, that's interesting because now if we remove this, let's come back over to our regular block view. We don't need that up, do we? Okay. So now if I save this, refresh it, it should break, but it didn't that time. That's weird. It shouldn't actually break because all that we've done, even if it has the same thing, the code in the database didn't change. So that's still the same, and it looks like this stuff is being pulled out and added as a class name. Is that due to us? Is that something we did here? Nope, we were just setting the line, we were setting the line, we did set up some custom attributes. What happened to those? Class names is line full. Interesting. So I'm not seeing these. Oh, now I'm in a different function. That's why. Okay, hold on. Register block type, add code attributes. Yeah, it should have an attributes high contrast with a default type. So I'm not seeing that show up here. Because again, register block type is basically hooking into that main function, and you could override anything in it, I believe. Yeah, the block settings and the name of it. So you could change any of the arguments. Oop, is that Gatsby? I can't wait. After this live stream, next ones are going to be on Gatsby and WordPress. Super excited for all that. But we got to figure out Gutenberg first. Okay, so we've got this core block, settings aligned, high contrast. All right, let's cue this back up and see what went wrong here. Okay, so we've got this. There's no block settings. But shouldn't there be a attribute called high contrast? Okay, let's do this. Let's check out the block. How do we want to check out the block? Can we use React to grab the props of it? Hopefully. I don't think that's what we wanted though. Let's switch out of this editor and come back into this and select that. We need to go up higher. Let's see if this is it. Attributes. Okay, so it has this attribute. Cool, so that works. I don't know if you could see that, but it is showing high contrast to be false. Okay, so those are there, but why isn't it being saved? Because any attribute, if it has, well, this is a question. If you have a default value, I'm beginning to wonder why this isn't saving into these comments, because technically if we add this block, oh wait, that's not what I meant to do. What is a shortcut? I gotta learn this. Shift Option something M. It's a lot of buttons. I'm doing that right? There we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that's a good shortcut to learn, y'all. Command Option Shift M. That's not bad. I like that. Dig it. I don't have to use that double click anymore. Okay, cool. So I'm going to add a code one. Got to go up. Oops, not what I meant to do. Attributes. So it has this attribute. What I'm wondering is why isn't it, so let's say, oops, no, that's not what I meant to do. Why, when I switch views, it should be saving that default attribute. But this is a whole other question, so I'm not going to get into it. Okay, let's move on. This looks good. I want to rename all of this, or do I? Is this an example that we're going to do? Yeah. But then do I need to have an individual one for each? Yeah, I'm thinking we should have a register. Okay, this is a cool example and I like it. I'm going to keep going with this example, but I also want to set up a filter that is register block type. Because that's a super cool filter. It's one of these. Great. Okay, so should we just go create that real quick because we already have this example here? I think so. Add filter. All right, what do we want to call this? Extend with register block type. Yikes, worst long function name ever, but whatever. This is our example one, so if it is redundant, that's fine. Another thing I forget, man, when I'm in PHP, because I don't use it often, is like, how do I console log this sucker? Can I just like var dump this thing to a page? Is it going to break things if I just want to look at it? All right, so I want to spend some time in this, and then I'm going to come back to that example. So I will undocument that, and I will do this. Register. That's that one. Okay. Register block type. And these have to have a unique value as well. I'm not sure what the purpose of this is, but I imagine it's because you could, yeah. I feel like don't you just need this, but we have to give it a name too, so I'm going to call it, I'm just going to match the same function name I'm calling in. Extending register block type. Yikes, that doesn't feel right, but I don't think you're supposed to name. Are you supposed to do that? I don't know. I'm just going to do that because I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing there for name spacing wise. If it should be camel case or what, so we'll just go with that. We got our function. Okay, so now I want to play around with all of these, and I just want to start dumping stuff out to the page. So I'm guessing that, again, please don't mind my PHP. That's valid, right? Wait, hold on. I'm in my JavaScript. Okay, cool beans. We haven't got to the PHP functions. Before I started recording, I was working with the PHP stuff. So, pardon me. Hey, how's it going? Just seeing you in the chat here. Howdy, welcome, welcome. Doing well. How about yourself? All right. Okay, so let's just log these out and see what we're getting. And that's where I always start with hooks. Like, what are we getting in? And then we figure out what we could do with them. So let's come back over to our console here, reload this sucker, use my new shortcut that I know to switch views. Add filter is not defined. Of course it isn't. We probably need to import that stuff. Right. Add filter is in the hook system, so that won't run without that. And of course, since we're bringing this up, let's just go look at WP hooks. Check this out. Let's go see what we're working with. So the hook system is like independent of Gutenberg. There is a JavaScript hook system. So the same one that we have the ability to apply filters and actions, and within WordPress, it runs filters and actions so that we could hook into it. But we could also create our own. And then these like lifecycle type hooks, like did it do these actions? Is it doing it? Does it have this action? Remove all of these. Pretty standard stuff. And what we're looking to is to add our own filter into the existing, somewhere in WordPress is going to be called doing filter, and that will pull in ours. All right, so basic hook system. Cool, so let's see what we got now. That is the hooks. We got add filter here, so it should all work. Okay. So this is crazy. What it does is it goes and it basically looks at every single registered block that there is in WordPress. So if you think about what it's doing, we're hooking into register block type setting. So every single time register block type is called to, or register block type is called, then it is going to, and that's being used to set up a block, then we can hook into that. So the first thing we see here is the name. So the nice thing you could do is run conditional checks. So we could say if name, or let's do this Yoda style, if core, let's add some code here, some comments. Let's say check for block type. So if core code is equal to name, do something with core, no, that's core. We need core code. Code block. Cool. Or let's be more specific. Let's say change, actually, let's do this. Let's move our settings, or let's move this up into here and take out name. Cool. So now we can see all the settings for a particular block. We don't have to worry about all the other ones. And we know that if we were in here and we modified any of these settings, then that is going to be what our new settings are going to be set to. So there's a bunch of attributes by default. So we know that we like attributes. We've got an attribute of class name, of content, which is going to be the actual content, and yep, looks like that's it. So we could potentially mess with this, but I don't know that we'd want to. What you can do is add on to this. So let's say that we wanted to introduce a new setting to our block type, or a new attribute. We could do settings.attributes, and I don't know, I feel like I should be setting up a new method for this. So like, or a new function, or new settings are equal to settings. I don't think we need to do that. It is scoped, but whatever. Oh my gosh, this is JavaScript. I keep forgetting and thinking that we're in PHP. Okay, we're just gonna get these settings and we're gonna modify them on the fly and then return them back. Okay, so we're gonna add an attribute here of like, this is in the course, original course high contrast, so we could switch it from like black to white or something, which is pretty cool. And we could just set that to, well, let's see, how do attributes work? Let me come back to this example here. It's an object with the type, yeah, okay. So then all of this would be the normal way you'd set up an attribute. So we've got certain characteristics, like what do we have? The type is gonna be a Boolean. But let's use a different example than we are in this cool example. So let's change this to a paragraph block, or what would we do? What are other cool blocks to work with? Let's use the quote block. High contrast, I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm gonna leave them the same. Yeah, we'll just leave them the same. Okay, default type is Boolean, default is false. So then if we run this again, we'll see that we've modified these and we now have a new attribute attached. Now that attribute isn't doing anything, and like we saw before, it isn't saved by default. So even if we save this block with these new attributes, if we toggle our views with this new cool shortcut, just learned, loving it. Notice that we get class name saved there, but we don't get anything about this other attribute, which weirds me out. So now I want to test this. I want to say, what if this was a string and we set it to something? Because now I'm wondering if it's just about nope. I'm wondering if it's just because like a certain type of attribute won't save, or if we have to do something specific. Maybe but if we don't source it, it should be saving it, but maybe, yeah, I'm curious about all this. Okay, let's try this again. Save it, refresh it. Save that, switch it over. Yeah, it's still not saving it. Now it didn't save either of those. Oh, because, did I load all this up? Yeah. Interesting. Yep, okay, so default attributes do not save by default. Good to know. I guess you have to use them or modify. Okay, I have so many questions, but I'm not going to explore this too deep at the moment. What I want to do is keep going through the settings and modifying all of them and showing what they do. Okay, so let's change the from formatting to, let's see, what are all our custom category, where are our categories? Is common blocks one? No, let's hack it and put it in our category. So what you could do as a plugin author, this would be kind of cool. Ooh, I want to do this. Okay, I have an idea. So in our block categories, we set up a block category before for our custom blocks, but I'm going to set up another one now. And call this recommended blocks. Cool, I like this. And then what is a good dash icon? Is there like a star or something? Dash icons. That is not the one we want. Star filled. And we could call this recommended blocks. Oh, I'm digging this. Y'all following the direction I'm going with this now? And then in register block type, we could, let's just change it to recommended. That makes much more sense. Here we could say settings.category is equal to recommended. Cool, so now when you go to add a code block, you should have recommended blocks down here, and our code one is there. But is it no longer in formatting? Yeah, and it's no longer there. I dig that. Can you like unhook? Okay, now I'm curious about something else. Can I unregister? Yeah, I can, because I could override them. Yo, what happens when I do that? I break WordPress. How is that not merging those? Why does that choke? Is it because PHP wants it like that? It's because I'm breaking all their categories. No. So you cannot remove initial WordPress categories. It will break everything unless you changed them all, but then you don't know about plugins they're trying to hook in anyways. This is cool that you can move. So we basically just set up our own like little custom block category called recommended, and we can move any recommended for clients here. What I was wondering is like, then can we remove all of these, or can we change the order that it appears in? I wish. No, it doesn't look like it. So I don't know how helpful that is that they have to go all the way down to the bottom, but whatever. All we're demoing is that you could override things. Okay. I mean, I guess we could get into changing the name of it, right? Well, you don't want to change the programmatic name, but yeah, you don't want to change that, but we could change the title. Setting, oh, hold on. Let's do this. Okay, we see where this is going right now. We're just going to override them all. There's got to be some easier way for me to do this. Now we definitely need the underscore underscore. Cool. What are we calling this? Code block? What else could you call it? Code snippet? I don't know. Sure. Why not? Why not? Let's see. I got to go find what language translation. I can never remember what I keep using for this course. This one. JS for WP advanced blocks. I should really memorize that at a certain point. The things developers look up though, right? Can you feel me? Okay. So settings title. So now if we search for code snippet, actually I'm just going to click on it because we have this block thing and it'll show its name. So now that's called code snippet. We could probably, yeah, we could change everything here. So let's just set up an example where we go through and change everything. Use this for maximum codiness. Cool. Shout out to Wes Boss and emojis in his code. People are always talking about that. You gotta love that guy. You ever take a Wes Boss course? Big fan. Okay. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, we overrode the title. Hold on a second. Should we just start messing with things? Let's do a tribute to Wes Boss here and ridiculousness. And let's say computer for code. How would they search for that block? Are we really just, oh, you know what we could do? We could set up keywords so that even if we search for code, so we can't find this block now. It's in our custom category. It's just called that. That's ridiculous. I'm going to change that back. You see where I'm going, but if we added keywords, then you could search for code and it would still come up. Why not? You know what? I'll probably change this for the final thing. Now, keywords, we got to be careful because there might already be some keywords. We could look right here. Oh, it doesn't use keywords. That's interesting. But even if it did, we would want to, what is it giving us? An object? What is something that has keywords? Let's get a different, block here. We have some advanced blocks. What are our blocks called? I just want to make sure that we're not overriding the keywords and we're doing that properly. Okay, so blocks, the gallery block has these keywords and it is called JSWP Advanced Blocks Gallery. So let's change this here. And that's our gallery. Wait, why is it not logging out the settings? Wait a second. If this is equal to the name, okay, now let's make sure that our JavaScript is enqueued in the right order, because now I'm wondering if our block filters are not registering at what point they are. Okay, so we have our JavaScript here, and we want to make sure that when we load our filters, filters are just on the back end. Where are you, filters? Ah, cool. Let's see if that changes it. Because you'll notice that like it should be logging out the same thing that it did, and it should be overriding all this stuff, and it's not. So what my only guess is that it's not getting loaded after. We're in trouble. Why isn't that working? Okay, let's come back into our filter and run name again and get all the names of what it's running. Uh-oh, it's only getting core stuff. Is there a reason for that? Is that because core blocks are built and loaded differently? But if it's a filter, it shouldn't care what kind, so this still feels like an order thing to me. It feels like something is going on. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I'm enqueuing my block filters into WP and Q scripts. No, I'm not. It's up here. Oh, yeah, it is 100, so it should be coming later. Do I have to make it a higher number? I don't think you can go high. How high can you go with filters? I don't think I ever go above 100. Whoa. How do you extend your own blocks? That's a good question. I mean, I feel like you should be able to. But no plugin blocks, I'm guessing, are going to get picked up. Should we test this with somebody else's plugins? Let's see. What do I have on the site? Let's go cadence blocks. They got some good stuff going. Cool. Well, I don't feel bad because it's not just my vlogs. It looks like it's everybody's. Okay, so the next level of research for this in my mind is we go and we look in WordPress core and we look at how they're registering blocks and we see if each one has a filter. Fine, let's do that. Y'all could see the thoroughness of this research. Like, I probably won't even mention. I'll probably mention in the courses later. Oh yeah, it only shows core ones. But let's do our due diligence. No, because see, when you call register block here, oh, that's a test. That's a test. Here we go. Let's see how this works. Oh, inner blocks and column. Let's try a simpler one. Block edit. I love that there's more tutorials coming. Shout out to all y'all been doing that. Love it. Register block type. Jeez, how? Okay, I can go find this on my own a little bit faster. Didn't think it would take that long. All right, so let's go into a package. Let's go into block library. But I don't think this is where they're applied, but let's see. Interesting. So they pass out settings. Yeah. Let's trace this down. So where is register block type actually called? Now I'm curious. Really need to learn how to do advanced searches. Let's see if I could exclude. No, okay. Register block type. And it's probably going to be called as a function. Maybe that'll help us a bit. Wait, hold on. Now we're outside of this repo. Back it on up a bit. So I'm trying to find wherever all of the blocks, they're probably going to like loop through them and register them all at once, and that's where I'm wondering if the filters are applied. Although I just realized I might be going about this backwards. Let's try searching instead for do action. Remember how we saw the WP fill hooks? Let's just see if we can find where they use that specific hook to doing action, doing filter. This might be faster. It's not in hooks. No, where are you using it? Okay. I thought that would help. That means that they're not using it anywhere. I thought that it was being implemented. Is there an apply filter? You could just get all the filters. Okay. I don't know, man. I am going down a rabbit hole here. I feel like get block attributes, get save, get register block type. I don't, oh, hold on. I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, these are all the filters. Oh, does Cadence have their own? Cool, way to build, y'all. Should we go peek in their source code and see how they're using it? I kind of want to. Okay, so let's see how they're using register block type. Or let's see how they're using filters. Yeah, they're not calling any filters here, so let's see if it's somewhere else. No. Okay, no clue what's going on then. Cool. All right, all this is a crazy way of saying, like, how the heck do I extend my own block plugins or somebody else's plugin if it's not showing up here? Weird. So we're calling this section now register or extending core blocks, but you got to be able to extend other people's, but I can't track down exactly how. I mean, okay, let me try one more time. I didn't get that deep into pages. Register block type. This is going to be easier if I just download Gutenberg. Ooh, it's a mighty big zip file you got there. Where'd it go? Get the download. It's still in expanding? Wow. All right, let's try this. Okay, this should go a little bit faster now. Let's see. Register block type. Nope, nope, it's not in any markdown. Can I do that? No, can't search like that. It's not in any of these markdown files. Block library, register block type. Here we go. Check it out. Register core blocks. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so they go through each of these blocks and then they register them and they add the settings. Set default block name. Let's see where else register. Well, hold on. Like, where is this called, right? We should find out where this is called because maybe something else there is applying the filters to start. Again, we're trying to figure out how do we make our own blocks extendable because we're not seeing them with this. And I don't think it's about the order of them being called. No, we want to see where this is called. Import it. Use it. Initialize editor. Okay, is there anything filtery in here? Come on out, filters. Nope. Okay. On the manifest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. will go unanswered until I ask somebody who understands how Gutenberg was built and they can answer. Bottom line, it looks like for the course, we are only extending core blocks. I'm sure that there's something simple I'm missing here, but I'm not sure what it is. Now I just want to check because I set something to 1,000 before, and I don't think that's smart. So, and it didn't seem to change it. And adding, oh wait, did I change the wrong thing? Register block types. Where's our filters again? Q block editor assets. Oh yeah, that was it. Sorry. Let's just make sure, double sure. Only gets them for core. Weird. And we made it a dependency, and that didn't seem to matter. Oh, you know why it doesn't matter? Because so WordPress is hooking into in Q block editor assets. Sorry, I'm not completely over this yet. So when we register a block here, that takes our editor JavaScript that we just had. This is the file we were trying to make a dependency. And it enqueues it. But it shouldn't matter when it enqueues it because WordPress knows it enqueues it. And then as long as we put this as a dependency here, our filters JavaScript is going to run after the rest of our page is loaded, or the rest of our blocks are registered. So I really don't know why we don't have the ability to extend our own blocks, unless I'm crazy and I miss something simple. Totally possible. Okay. Going back to, that was a lot of work. Well, hold on. Let's go back to doing our, which one were we using? Core code. Cool. Okay, let's, oh, you know why we were doing that is so that we could use keywords, because I wanted to figure out how these keywords were saved. I could pretty much guess and we could get them other ways. So let's see, watch this, WP blocks, get block type. Then we put in the name of our block that we had. Okay, that was a lot of work just to do this. It's an array, so we basically want to, how did we do it in the other one? Were they using underscore for that to merge? Yeah, I guess we were using Lodash. Is merge for arrays or just for objects? That's objects. Not really big on Lodash. I don't know it too well. But we want to join arrays, trying to think of the best way to do that. There's a super simple way with like spread and, okay. Modern way to join arrays. JavaScript. This. That's what I wanted. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so settings.keywords is equal to settings.keywords, and then the new item in the object, is that right? I feel weird not having a way to test this because, oh no, it's just a string of text, so we should just be able to do this. So it spreads the original ones, right? So it gets all the existing keywords, it rolls those out, and then it's going to grab ours, and we could do code. Okay, so let's come back here, break it, good job. It's not able to do that because there are no keywords, right? So now we need to write it conditionally. Can I do that inside of an array? I don't think I could put a conditional inside of an array. I could just pop onto it. Can I just do that? No, not pop on. How do you add something onto an array? I'm a little embarrassed that I have to look up array functions every time. Push. Got it. Yes. Okay, that's all we have to do. So if there's not settings keywords, is that going to break too? Let's see. Yeah. How do you push to an array that might not exist? Yeah, this is more than I want to do. Let's see. Yuck. I don't know why I'm so bad trying to just avoid writing a conditional statement that would do it just fine. Yikes. Okay. This is going to be embarrassing here. Let's see. Add to keywords. Well, I don't know if any of the WordPress ones by default have keywords, but let's just do this. If settings keywords, then do that. Else, right? Modern JavaScript is so elegant that I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I have, oh. But you just said you didn't have wait. The block core code can have a maximum of 3 keywords. So does that mean it already had keywords, but why aren't these keywords shown here? Right, because if I take this out, I don't think there are any keywords. But then when I try to modify the keywords, just reading it a few times to make sure I don't. Right now it's got one set of keywords. It's got a string. Oh, because we actually want this to be an array. Boom. That's how we don't break things. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so now if we search for code, we can see we get the computer one, but we don't see the word code. So I like that. I'm going to change this though, and put the computer icon down here. Because I think that's kind of a cooler example, and I don't really want to be suggesting that we should save block names as emojis. That is technically, I think, a very bad idea, unless you have an ability to be able to do that for your particular client. But check this out. Now if I search for that, cool. All along the while, thanking Wes Boss for being cool with what he does, Yarn for throwing emojis in. You know, we love emojis, right? Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let's get back to work here because I'm going to have to wrap up in a few minutes. All right, let's just keep banging this out. What's next? Now I'm worried about edit and all that. Let's change the icon. What do we want to do here for dash icon? Gear, there's a gear one. Let's change it to the gear. Not gear. Want to do wrench? You can do wrench. Admin tools. I feel like it's a really bad idea for block developers to use dash icons because they already mean something in WordPress, and I feel like, yes, they're helpful in general, but I feel like it could be a little bit confusing if they're seeing core stuff there. So code, yeah, whatever. We could live with that. Okay. Now we could also change, I'm going to suggest not changing name. Supports, let's change that. Wait, no. Dot supports. I think we just do like that. Now we're overriding it, right? So this is potentially dangerous. What we should do is we should do something like that, just in case there already are. Or I guess that's where they were using merge before. I'm not sure why not to use object create. I probably broke something. Object assign. All right, so supports. So now we should be able to come into this block and view the HTML mode. Cool. All right, what else? What other supports are there? Because I don't want to just show overriding it, I want to show actually, what am I trying to say? I want to add something new to it and not just modify something that exists. So that is under block registration, supports, align, anchor. I like that. Let's add anchor. This is a cool one. So we'll do it like this. I don't know, I feel like more blocks should have anchor support. So if we click on this under here, we could set an HTML anchor, my code. And then we could do something fancy, like if I could use Gutenberg and add a block. There we go. Button. Do some like jump to code. Yeah! And then what was the thing we just set for our code? My code. Like that. Oh no, I think that's a cool use case, and we could edit it as HTML, although you wouldn't really want to because it is HTML. So don't go editing an HTML block by putting HTML in here because that will, well, it'll turn into HTML. Yeah. Let's just delete that. Okay, cool. What's next on our list here? Hey, no fat arrow functions? Where? What you talking about? Are we not? We got fat arrow functions around. Or, I don't know, maybe you're saying don't use them. I don't know which way. All right, so let's see here. What's next? We got save, supports, title, transforms. All right, I'm not going to mess with transforms. Now, technically, we could override save, but I don't think it's a good idea to do. So we're just not going to do it. We've got change the block title, change the description, add keywords, change the icon, change supports. You know what? I'm going to move icon up to there. And then I thought we already added attributes. No. Okay, I just coded that earlier. I'm going to change this to new. Was thinking that as I was coding earlier. String. Because I want it to be generic. Change the block category. This is going to go up higher too. Above icon. I'm just putting them in the same way that I usually code them. All right, cool. So that sounds good. Now I'm going to add a note here. You can edit the edit, save, transforms, and deprecated. Is that what it is? I love asking y'all like you can answer me back. Just, you know, shout out if you know the answer. Deprecated. I assume you could change deprecated, can you? Is it hooked onto settings? It's not, but maybe code doesn't have a deprecated one. I don't know. You can edit the edit, save, trans, but you probably should not. So then I'll just leave these like settings dot edit is equal to I don't think I could just start writing this here, can I? I'm very curious if that's going to work. No, of course not. So it would be like fat arrow functions. We were asking for fat arrow functions, right? Woohoo! There we go. Okay, so we go to add a code editor. Override! Suckers! And then, sorry. And then save is nope. So let's update that, view post. Hey. Okay. Yeah, I gotta delete this and add a new one. Can never delete, oh, there we go. There is a deleted block. Control Option Z. I'm always still learning shortcuts. Okay. I find it difficult to use delete a block with just a pointer at this point. All right, so let's add a code block. Okay, so it's overridden there. But what the deuce? It should be settings save props note. It should be overriding. Let's output there. Let's see what's going on here. Nope, still doing that. Let's check. I'm confused. So it works after it's saved. So if we hook in here and we add a code block, override, and if we, hold on, let me toggle this closed and switch the view. Okay, and then we save it. But we update this. Okay, now it's working, right? Yeah, but then we come to edit it, and now it's going to choke because, no, edits override, that's save, everything's good. So I'm going to say don't do this. Log out all the settings, CSL, settings. And then do we have to return the settings? Yeah, right down there. Okay, return to modified settings. So that is register block type. One way to extend a block. Now, it's going to get complicated from here because some stuff you might want to do, like if you want to change the edit or change the save, they should not be done through here. So I only have a few minutes left here before I got to hop off because, well, I got to hop off because I'm hungry and haven't eaten today. Smoothie time, man. Got to get them healthy nutrients in. At least once or twice a day. All right, but what I want to check before are these other hooks. So let's go back to hooks. I don't know. I think that pretty thoroughly. Oh, wait. They do not. Is this PHP? No. All right, let's just come down. Are we on the right page? Block register. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Filters, that's where I was at. Okay. We've got the ability to register styles. We're not really concerned with that. That's going to be a separate video. Okay. Register block type. I don't know. I think we banged that out pretty well. So let's come back into index. Yeah, that's the first one there. I think that we did a good job on that. Get save element. Let's look at that next. And let's do these one at a time. All right, so what this allows us to do is get our element. I want to change this name. Extend block save. How do I want to name this? Naming, such a big thing. Get save element. Oh, let's just call it get save element, right? Is this namespaced? Extend with get save element. All right, we're going with the horrible long naming convention. Cool, cool, cool. Sweet. All right, so now we come in here and what kind of, now the not good thing is that when we undo this, it's gonna break our existing code. So I'm gonna show you how to do this with PHP in a second here because save is next on the list. But I don't know that this is the order I want to do these in. Whoa, I didn't see this one last time, transformed block. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go over all these in the course. Because really, register block type should get you a lot of stuff. And then we want to look at how to modify the save element, which I'll demo that you want to do, that you can do with JavaScript, but you probably don't. So we'll look at the PHP version. And then I need to take notes here. Okay. Register block type. I need to take notes somewhere, not in here. Let's see, do I have a Google Doc for this course? Advanced Gutenberg. Cool. Yeah, we got way off outline. Okay, I'm just going to put notes for extending core blocks section. Cool. First we cover register block type, and then we're going to cover get save element, and then we show extend save via PHP so it doesn't break. So let's say, I don't know if it's pros and cons, but show how breaks. And then extend save via PHP. Okay, then we're going to do, which other ones do we want to do? Use to modify the block's wrapper component, containing the block's edit component in all toolbars. Oof. Okay, let's get them all in here and then we'll talk about them. Definitely we're covering this one. So I think that this is the next one that we cover, block edit, and that's how to get the edit component and change that, because that's most likely what you're changing. And that will include the inspector controls of it. But I think that that's going to get dangerous, and I want to look at the children and see how if we could like only modify certain children and not others, and I don't know, extending React. There are definitely some patterns for it, and I want to explore that a little bit. So we'll definitely get into block edit. Get block attributes. Like, yes, you could get this, but why would you do it? Can you change them? Called immediately after the default parsing of a block's attribute. Oh yeah. It allows you to change the attribute values. So I think we could play with that. But you can change all the attributes with register block type. Okay, so one of the questions I have is this verse register block type, and which one we want to use. So that's a questionable one. Not sure I want to do this, although this is helpful for toolbar manipulation. Oh, you know what? Folks have been asking me how to remove toolbar items, particularly with rich text, and maybe this is how you do it. Okay, this might not be my last live stream, man. I really want to record this section and move on, but I don't know. Deeply, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Get block attributes. Switch block type transforms. I'm not worried about that one, because if you build a block and you offer the ability to transform into something else, I believe then that block will also show the ability to transform into you. So I don't think we need this one. My 2 cents. Get default class name, sure, but why? And isn't that in... See, why are these called get? Generated... So this is the same thing, I believe, that's in the block control bar. Additional, no. This is default CSS class. Again, I'm not sure why, well, yeah, I'm not sure why folks would need them. This one actually seems a little bit more practical, but I don't know that it's a good idea, because if your plugin changes it, I guess what you could do is for a theme, you could modify them, but yeah, you know, there's all sorts of use cases for WordPress and when to customize and all that. So let's just mention that these exist, but I don't know that we're going to do a video on them. And then I remember this being confusing, but figuring it out. So I got to go look at this one. I don't remember what that was. And then there's this one. Oh, is that all of them? Cool. Okay, so let's look at get save element first. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to have to pause here. I need to get some food in me, but it looks like I will either come back and do a live stream, or I'm just going to record all this online, record it and throw it up in the course. Because honestly, I have all the code done for these, and you could look back to the last live stream, I think, where I talked about them already. So what I might do is just on my own brush these up and get them ready to record, throw a few examples in, and I really want to get this done because I'm all about trying to get to this Gatsby, headless Gatsby with WordPress course. Like, hopefully want to start recording that, or live streaming that stuff and testing it next week, if not the week after that. So, Gutenberg, I love you, but ready to close the book for the moment and come back a little bit later with more of this stuff. Hopefully you find this stuff helpful. Please like, subscribe. Please go check out the course on JavaScript for WP. Follow me, Z Gordon, on Twitter, and shoot me with any questions you have about any of this. Ciao, y'all.